5. An upset win a few weeks ago against number 15 Kansas gave fans hope that maybe this team
Good evening, Cowboys. Welcome back to another semester and another episode of the Daily O. I'm Courtney Noisette. Let's get into our show. It's now been a year since Wuhan, China saw the first of many COVID-19 lockdowns around the world. Since then, nearly 100 million people have been infected with the virus. We have the story for you now. As vaccines...
It is a city whose name evokes mystery, allegations of cover-up, and agony. Wuhan, China. CNN returning to this, the original epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. On January 23, 2020, this metropolis of more than 11 million residents locked down. We left hours before, beginning a 2-week quarantine in Beijing. For 76 days, Wuhan remained sealed off.
And here we are again, back 1 year later, the Huanan Seafood Market. This at one point was believed to have been, by Chinese authorities, the ground zero of this outbreak.
This time last year, security had ushered us away within minutes of reporting.
Now, January 2021, no security here. We've been walking around for several minutes. They don't seem to care.
That was until we started looking inside. We noticed some people working behind the gate. Suddenly, a seemingly random passerby on a bike shouted at us, saying, "Don't be sneaky." He later identified himself vaguely as working for the government. He told us to walk around and try the entrance.
Can we go in?
We can go in that way. He said apparently we can go in, so we'll see if we can actually get inside the market.
But I'm going to ask this guy, can you go in? You can't go inside? Oh, tell him we have a COVID test, a negative COVID test.
Okay, you just can't get it.
You can't get?
Don't take the pictures.
Okay, no pictures.
Yeah.
So clearly a bit sensitive. Perhaps it's because we're foreigners or because we're journalists.
The virus's origin has become highly politicized. U.S. officials accusing China of covering up and allowing the virus to spread. China defensive, saying the Trump administration was deflecting blame for its own mishandling. A team from the WHO is now in Wuhan, tasked with trying to find out the truth. And yet, geopolitics aside, the human suffering, it is universal. Young Min spoke with us knowing she could face pressures from officials, but a mother who's lost her only daughter has no more to lose.
When I sat down, you thanked me for getting the truth out. What is the truth as you know it?
The local officials did not tell us about the pandemic, she said. If measures were taken, I would not have sent my child to the hospital, which was the source of the infection. Last January, Young's 24-year-old daughter had been receiving treatment for cancer. She contracted COVID-19 and died in early February. When I speak about this, some parts of my heart still ache, she said. Amidst the deep pain, we also encountered moments of hope in our return. On the eve of the lockdown last year, we visited this fruit market. This woman selling sugarcane told me at the time that she was terrified. She stayed, fearing the financial burden. 12 months later, we met again. At that time, I was crying all the time, she told me. We were suffering and scared. Above her face mask, the pain still visible in her eyes. She says the people of Wuhan are resilient, likening them to heroes.
I'm so glad to see you in person and to know that you made it through the lockdown and you're healthy.
The market mood remarkably different from last year. Business bustling, people much more at ease.
Would you say Wuhan is back open and on the path to recovery?
It's not just starting from now, he says. It started very early, to be honest. In my opinion, Wuhan had already begun to recover since mid to late March. Delivery driver Lao Ji has become well known on Chinese social media as he chronicled life during the lockdown. The then and now are striking. A city desolate amidst the lockdown, followed by a summer with packed pool party images that shocked a socially distanced world outside of China. And a New Year's celebration that brought Wuhan residents shoulder to shoulder. Though with new cluster outbreaks in the north of China, many here in Wuhan once again wearing face masks, cautious of the lingering unknowns, and still surrounded by the haunting memories of a lockdown that kept millions of residents, along with their grief, sealed inside. For some, only now, 12 months later, it is just beginning to surface. David Cover, CNN, Wuhan.
As vaccines are now rolling out across the U.S., hopefully we can see a lift on restrictions as Wuhan has. Higher OSU Grads is offering a couple different events this week. On Thursday, they are holding a virtual resume workshop from 3 to 5. You can submit your resume online and set up an appointment where you will speak with trained reviewers. You can also submit cover letters, personal statements, and more. To sign up, you can go to higherosugrads.com and sign up for a time slot. This Friday, Career Services is holding a construction industry virtual career fair. The event is designed for construction engineering, technology, civil engineering, architecture, or other similar programs. The Virtual Construction Industry Career Fair is the ideal place for students who are interested in becoming project engineers, superintendents, estimators, and more. To learn more about the job opportunities and practice your networking skills, we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Shooping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocali Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.
And now for this week's weather. Today has been overall pretty gloomy with a high of 47 degrees and a low tonight of 27 degrees. Tomorrow and Wednesday will continue to be in the high 30s to lower 40s, with temperatures beginning to warm up around Thursday up into the low 50s, and the rest of the week will be warm and overall sunny from there. So make sure to stay bundled up for the next couple of days, Cowboys, and look forward to a warm weekend. Next, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we have sports. For the Ocali, I'm Courtney Noisette.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Daily O. I'm Asa Lucas, and it is good to be back here at the Sports Desk for our first edition of all things sports news here in 2021. So let's get right into it. We can't talk about anything else until we mention the NFL playoffs, and man, do we have a good one about to go down in Tampa in a few weeks. Tom Brady, who seems to age like fine wine, going into his 10th Super Bowl at the age of 43. He'll take on the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who look unstoppable. After disposing of the Bills last night, it's a classic matchup of strong, dynamic offense versus a stubborn, upright defense. So let's break down Championship Sunday in the NFL, starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Lambeau Field to take on the number 1 seeded Green Bay Packers. It seemed destined to be Aaron Rodgers' year after the Packers went 13-3, but Brady got the game started with a 15-yard touchdown to Mike Evans. The Packers would answer back, but by halftime the game was starting to lean in Tampa's favor after a wild sequence which saw the punt team come off and on the field on 4th down. The Bucs took a shot at the end zone and Scotty Miller pulled in the 39-yard touchdown. The second half was filled with 3 interceptions from Tom Brady, and after holding off a potential fourth quarter comeback, Tampa closed the deal 31-26. Here, as you can see, Aaron Rodgers scrambling, and instead of getting the complete pass for a touchdown, incomplete. They do a very controversial kick, which would tie the game, which would get the game close, 26-31. Tom Brady would end up getting the win for the Buccaneers, sending them to the Super Bowl for the first time in over 20 years. Final score 31-26. Tampa Bay won 3 straight road playoff games and will be the first team to play in a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has faced criticism for not going for a 4th down attempt at the end zone, but instead electing to kick a field goal while down 8 points. They never saw the ball again, and their season ended disappointingly again. Moving over to the AFC title game, the Buffalo Bills were looking to upset the reigning Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs on their home field, but it wouldn't be that easy. After going down by 9 points on the first, the Chiefs turned on the afterburners, scoring 3 straight unanswered touchdowns and ran away with the game. Chiefs would end up winning 38-24, and Patrick Mahomes is looking ready for the Super Bowl. They are going to be a tough team to beat. Tom Brady has a lot. He's going to have a lot to do, and hopefully the Buccaneers can step up and make it interesting with a 3-point spread. It'll be an interesting Super Bowl to watch. Looking back, the Super Bowl will be back in February on the 7th in Tampa Bay, Florida. Oklahoma State has had a busy winter break with the ending of the football season and beginning of spring sports like basketball and wrestling. The Oklahoma State's men's basketball team have had an up and down beginning to their season, going unbeaten in 6 games to begin the year. Losses to TCU and a ranked Texas team put the brakes on their rise to the top 25. An upset win a few weeks ago against number 15 Kansas gave fans hope that maybe this team figured it out. But after back-to-back cancellations, the Cowboys suited up this past Saturday against the Baylor Bears, who are ranked number 2 in the country. They were shorthanded as well, with freshmen Cade Cunningham and Rondell Walker both out due to contact tracing. And the game would eventually start, and this game was a close one, with both teams going back and forth, but the second half was all Baylor as they outscored the Pokes by 19. You could see an even bigger difference on the board by rebounds. And the final score was 81-66. Oklahoma State didn't make the college football playoff like many had hoped. Alabama went on to win the title this year, but the Cowboys played in the Cheez-It Bowl against Miami and came out on top 37-34. It was a consolation prize to an overall solid Oklahoma State football season, which saw them finish as the 21st ranked team in the country. The NBA is in full swing with their season. The league has been committed to getting through the schedule. A handful of games have been canceled so far due to positive COVID cases and contact tracing, but the NBA has been doing their part to help keep the players tested and safe. But now to where the court is looking good in Oklahoma City Thunder. We're taking on the Clippers in LA. The Thunder have a young core of rookies and young players after trading Chris Paul off this season. The Thunder kept it close throughout against a tough Clipper team destined for a high seed in the Western Conference. But a big performance from Kawhi Leonard helped ward off any comeback for OKC. Leonard had 34 points on 14 of 24 shooting and was a rebound and 2 assists away from a triple-double. The final in LA, Clippers 108, Thunder 100. The PGA's Tour season continued over the weekend with the American Express. 25-year-old South Korean Siwoo Kim won the event this year after exiting last year's event with an injured back. Kim had strong competition at the top with American Patrick Cantley and Australia's Cameron Davis were within a few strokes of the top shot. Kim's big lead was tightening with Brantley surging towards the top. But with 2 birdies and a par 2 close, the final 3 holes sealed the deal for him. Oklahoma State's own Ricky Fowler and Matthew Wolff both played at the event. Fowler shot 11 under, finishing tied for 21st, and Wolff finished tied for 40th, shooting 8 under. Thanks so much for tuning into our show today. Make sure you're following us on the social media at @TheDailyO_TV. You can also watch our show on Roku, Amazon, Fire Stick, Apple TV, and on Suddenlink Channel 112. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here for another episode on Wednesday. For The Daily O, I'm Asa Lucas.
Superstar.
The end of the practice is when we do all of our intensity drills.
Okay.
She was going at it.
Stop. If we get them to Detroit by, let's say Monday the 15th. Time's right there. There we go. Yeah. Just, you can't.
Don't want to talk about it.
When you see the water tower, you're gonna make a right.
If we win this, is the one way to get to the playoffs.
I know.